be performing for.
You're not performing.
It is performing.
It's not performing.
You got crazy hair.
It's okay.
Can you
If you're worried about your hair, then that's
Can you edit out my crazy
performing.
hair? Or can you make it look crazier?
What makes you think you can tell people that hell isn't what they think it is?
So then, men ought to regard us as servants of Christ and those entrusted with the deep things of God, the secret things of God. So then, men ought to regard us as servants of Christ and those entrusted with the secret things of God. Secrets. God's got secrets. And He reveals them to those who seek Him. God's got secrets. Yes, He does. And He hides them from those who think that they're smart and think that they're learned. He's got secrets. It says so in 1 Corinthians 4. So then, men, people around you, ought to regard us as servants of Christ and those entrusted with the secrets of God. Oh, revelations. Oh, watch out for those people who have lots of revelations. All they talk about is revelations. All they talk about is the things that God has revealed to them because they've been seeking God with all their hearts. Not like you lukewarm people who pretend to know God and your hearts are so far from Him that the fruit of your flesh is manifested and obvious and evident to anybody who has a mind to think. Your fruit is the flesh. That's what you produce, whether you've got your flesh whitewashed with self-righteousness or whether you have your flesh whitewashed with some sin. It doesn't matter. Your flesh is still a turd. You can paint it different colors, but it's still a turd. And when you're walking in that turd, you're walking in a Diabolo. The devil's name, Diablo, it's not a Lamborghini. The devil, the Diablo, Dia, and Balo, it's a dung thrower. The devil is a shit thrower. So when you're a shit talker, and the difference between a shit talker and what I'm doing right now is the shit talker has nothing to back up his shit talk. They got no scripture, they got no understanding, they're like brute beasts being tossed to and fro like a wave. The difference between a shit talker and someone who's speaking the truth, the shit itself, is the shit talker's got nothing to back up what he has to say. The Diabolo, the shit talker, that's what he does. He talks shit through these people. So the secret things of God, the people who get revelation, people who seek God with their hearts because the world is empty and they don't want anything of this world to satisfy them. Not that they don't live in this world and use things of this world. They just don't let the things of this world define who they are. They don't let their Harleys define them. Oh, we're biker people, badass bikers for Jesus. They don't let their Corvettes and their money get into their head and give them identity. They just use things for the kingdom because they're kingdom-minded people. Those people that seek God with all their hearts, the secret things of God are revealed to them. The secrets, the mysteries, the mysterion, the mystery of God, not the message of God. It's been misinterpreted in 1 Corinthians 2. Not the message of God, but the mystery of God. God living in us, being us, desiring to be us. If we allow Him to be us, we can be Him. The unity, the functionality of our souls combined, our beings combined, walking as Christ, walking as God, walking as man. That's who God designed us to be. We lost that in the Garden of Eden when we got demon-possessed. And ever since, Christ has been calling us back into that relationship. He made us Himself again on the cross. God made Him, Christ, who had no sin, become sin, so that through Him we might become His righteousness. Well, what is the righteousness of God? What is it? It's His character. What is the character of God? It's Himself. It's all Him in us. He reconciliated. Reconciliation. The Greek word for reconciliation is katalasso. It means the mutual exchange. He made our sin him. He took on our sin on himself. He traded characters with us. He said, I will give you my righteousness if you give me your sin. So those who still pretend to be Christian but hold on to their sin, they can't get this message. That's 99% of the church that is not saved, that is pretending to be saved, that is pretending to be in transition of holiness, but is demonstrating no fruit of God's righteousness. Because they cannot relinquish their sin, the sinful motives of their heart. They want to hold on to that as their identity. That's what they want to identify with. They want to identify with their false belief about God, and their false belief about themselves, and what God says about you. God says that you are now my righteousness. And those people that can't accept that they are God's righteousness, they're at one with God, and their character is the same as God, they want to hold on to the secret desires, the secret motives, and the wrong kind of secrets of their heart. There's all kinds. The devil's got secrets too. The secret things of the devil. That's the desires of your heart. The false desires of your heart. The desires that wage war against the desires of God's heart. The secret things of the devil. That's what the church is holding on to. And they're being called out by more than just one prophet. God has sent multiple prophets, and he's sending more prophets to point the very same things out that the church is rejecting. They want to hold on to their doctrine. They want to hold on to their teaching. The doctrine of devils, the teaching of man. They don't want to hold on to the teaching of Christ. Christ spoke a lot of things he meant literally. Spoke a lot of things he meant figuratively. So they jumble them around. They get the things that were meant figurative, literal, and the things that were meant literal, figurative. So when Jesus talks about the sheep on the right and the goats on the left, and the goats are going to go in the outer darkness and the sheep are going to go into the light, well, guess what? Nice, thank you, Sozo. To be continued?